Craig was 32, 3 months into a new relationship and living in the UK when he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He wanted 6 kids, but was told at the time of his diagnosis that because of his cancer, there was a high likelihood he wouldn't be able to have any children, as the cancer would make him infertile. In this episode of Canopy TV, Craig talks honestly about his cancer, making babies, the importance of supporting those around you, and being a dad thanks to his fertility treatment.
Cancer can come along at any time in your life, and it may come along before you've actually finished your family or started your family, and so fertility can be a really key issue when you're thinking about treatments. So it's something to ask your oncologist about straight away, and also to be telling them, if you are partway through your family, thinking about starting a family, and what your thoughts on timing of that are.
I was planning on having 6 children. I wanted to be like a farmer type guy and have chaos in my house. And so when I was told at the time, when I had my diagnosis and I was starting chemo, again, the consultant said, you will never be able to have children. It was a very blank thing, so that was quite a shock at the time. So I went home and said to my wife, I can't believe that, well, my partner, because we're now married, that we wouldn't be able to have children, and I believed what they said, so I went home, was quite upset about it, and I think that became more of a dominating disappointment than actually having the cancer, because I knew that cancer could possibly be cured, but I knew if I couldn't have children, it'd be a massive gap in my life, so it was quite devastating actually. We were given advice to go to another hospital and to do a sperm sample, and at the time I went up there, they said, you're starting chemo tomorrow, you have to do this today. So I went up there to do a sperm sample, and that was actually really difficult due to all the stress that I was currently under at the time. It took a long time to produce a sample, but I was told that it was for my future and I had to do it, so for my legacy. So I was feeling very much under pressure to do it. So mentally after that, and telling that possibly couldn't have kids, I was bloody angry, to be honest. I was like, why me? That's not fair. Why not someone who didn't want to have kids? So I think I'm a good dad and wanted to have lots of children, and I was pretty pissed off that it had been sort of potentially robbed from me. But I also became I actually found cancer quite a weird thing. I've said this to a few people, which people might find strange, but I don't think it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It made me kind of really more positive and reflective, and changed my behaviour and things like that. So I became a bit more stoic about it and determined that I'd have kids and that I'd do what I had to do. So just sort of pushed on and did everything we could after that. So you have your highs and lows. You just got to ride through it and believe that one day's bad, but the next day will be fine. I had some surreal moments of when I was at my weakest, walking to a park that was in spring blossom, and it was like some sort of movie scene. I sat there and just looked up at the spring blossom and was just like going, this is one of the most amazing things ever. You sort of go into this surreal thought process, well I did anyway, about trying to be positive, and it surprised myself. I never thought I could be that positive about things, even in the worst situation. So I found that quite a good strength thing out of it. And I never thought I'd be that person. Fertility is something that just it's not a guaranteed process. You've got people who haven't had cancer, who can't get pregnant and have children, which is sad, but cancer isn't a barrier to having kids, not at the end of the day, I don't think. It's 2 separate issues, I think. I think we always think that fertility is a woman's thing. It's a woman's issue. Women bear children and it's a woman's thing, and we're a man and we just do our bit in that. But the reality was I was the issue. So more focus on getting that bit sorted early would have been absolutely amazing. I'm 43 with a 3-year-old. I'd rather be 35 with a 3-year-old. I'd say carry on as though you never had cancer. Just keep doing anything you would. Don't let cancer be the barrier. If there's a fertility issue, deal with the fertility issue. Just crack on and get it sorted out. So get your headspace clear if you're in the right headspace to do it, and just go and get the help and things that you need and advice you need to do it, and just push on. A lot of people can't have children that haven't had cancer, so fertility is a broad issue. So just do what's got to be done, treat it as a separate issue, forget the cancer part of it, and it's a fertility issue, and crack on and do it. When you're told you're infertile, it's like you're told you've got a swimming pool full of swimmers that are not going to reach the finish line, but all you got to do is get one and cheat and put it at the end. The story of the tortoise and the hare, they just turn it around that way. That's what fertility treatment does. It's an interesting experience. It's you shuffle off to a room and off you go. You know what you're supposed to do, and it's kind of funny because the sort of you know, it's sort of a taboo, you know, 16-year-old sort of thing, and then it's like when you're a man, it's like, yeah, no, you just go off and do that as part of the process. I don't find, I can laugh at myself, so I find it I'm quite fine about it. I can chat to mates about it, give them advice, and I've told some mates, you know, you don't need to be embarrassed about it, you just got to go and do it, and you know, it's for your legacy, it's for your future. You just kind of got to just go, it's for the country, go and do it. So now I'm 43, I've got a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. I look a lot older now and feel a lot older, but I'm very happy to have 2 lovely kids that came through using fertility treatment. It was very successful for us. My wife was healthy, it was just me that had the problem with the ramifications of having chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So yeah, got 2 lovely kids that I enjoy hanging out with and yeah, being a dad with. So we initially were going to have, I planned for 6 when I was young, but we're at 2, and I think my wife says we might stop there. But yeah, we're pretty thankful to have 2 kids.